Hey all, good morning and welcome to Share Trek. This is Raj here. This is not the morning show video. It's around 6:43 in the morning. And the reason I'm putting out this video so early is because I want to celebrate the FDA approval of Eli-cel. So my friends, it's a great news. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. I was watching out all of yesterday for approval of Eli-cel by FDA, and in the process I was refreshing my Google search page and periodically visiting the Bluebird investor section to see if there is any new press release in this regard. But I didn't find anything. But to my surprise, this morning, the very first time that I did a Google search, I found a press release from Bluebird Bio declaring that FDA has approved Eli-cel. Bluebird Bio is also going to hold a conference call on Monday, September 19th at around 8 o'clock in the morning to discuss details and plans going forward in terms of how commercialization is going to take place and so on. Eli-cel is now branded as Skysona. Skysona is the first FDA-approved therapy shown to slow progression of neurological dysfunction in boys with a devastating condition called CALD. It's a fatal neurodegenerative disease. And Skysona has been shown to slow the progression of CALD in boys aged 4 to 17 years with early active cerebral adrenoleukodystrophy. So it's a mouthful again, but let us continue to refer it as CALD, C-A-L-D. Elisa Seeger, co-founder of ALD Alliance, said that the agony of watching your child slip away is something no parent should have to bear. We have made significant strides in providing children diagnosed with CALD the best chance at life with early identification of ALD through expanded newborn screening. Yet the limited treatment options available today makes the early diagnosis a cause for despair instead of hope for many families. Today, the parents whose boys receive a CALD diagnosis can have renewed hope for their future thanks to Skysona. As a condition of the Skysona accelerated approval, Bluebird has agreed to provide confirmatory long-term clinical data to the FDA. Bluebird anticipates that commercial product will be available by the end of 2022 through a limited number of qualified treatment centers in the United States, including Boston Children's Hospital and Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Bluebird has set the wholesale acquisition cost of Skysona in the US at $3 million. Additionally, according to US National Library of Medicine, the prevalence of ALD is 1 in 20,000 to 50,000 individuals worldwide. In the US, 1 in every 21,000 men is thought to be affected by ALD, while 1 in 16,800 women are thought to be ALD carriers. As per a newborn screening conducted in the state of New York, the incidence of ALD at birth was estimated to be 1 in 15,000 among the 700,000 newborns screened in a 3-year period. 45 babies were diagnosed with ALD. Let's take a quick look at the pre-market activity to see what is happening with Bluebird, if there is any activity at all. And also we'll look at the chart of Bluebird, and I would like to just share my thoughts about it. So let's get started. Well, here we are in the TradingView platform. I'm looking at Bluebird Bio. Bluebird Bio lost 10.58% yesterday, and I think it was all the jitters that people had because we were not hearing about the FDA approval throughout the day. I myself vouch to that. I was getting jitters because I was continuously searching, and even in the evening after market close, I was looking at it, nothing came through. So I think this was a knee-jerk reaction, and it's going to be reversed on Monday. And I think on Monday, we are going to break through this resistance, which is at 642 and 686, and also break through this diagonal line of resistance, which was earlier a diagonal line of support. And I think we are going to be at least at 690 or 7 when we start the day. And this is going to be a resistance out here. This diagonal line of support for a previous bull channel is going to be the resistance for us on Monday. So my friends, that's what I have to say about Bluebird. Let me also go into a longer term view. If I change this into a 1 week view, let us look at what is happening with the share. It has been a steady decline, and we have fallen all the way from a peak of right now we are at 634, so I'm going to stop at 634. So we have fallen 95.84% from the peak of 153. And all of us will agree that as of 5th March 2018, Bluebird Bio didn't have anything worth talking about other than potentially Zynteglo in Europe, which it was in the process of getting an approval. Since then, today we are looking at Bluebird Bio as being the only genomics company with two gene therapies approved by FDA in quick succession. The first one was Zynteglo, and the second one now is Skysona or Eli-cel. And they have done all the things they had set out to do, and both their pipeline items have been approved right now. Of course, they are strapped for money because they don't have enough cash in their balance sheet. But I think with these two approved therapies, they are going to be able to do really well. And I think we are got to see a resurgence in the share price. I bought Bluebird shares almost a month ago when I was mentioning that Bluebird is likely to get the approval for Eli-cel. So it's in a very profitable condition at this point of time. I'm going to hold it for the longer term. Meanwhile, let's now take a look at how Bluebird Bio has handled its cash situation. In the late 2021, Bluebird Bio spun off 2seventy Bio and provided it with immune oncology cell therapy products for solid tumors and hematologic malignancies, as well as $442 million in cash to fund its operation into 2023. The asset transfer included Bluebird's portfolio consisting of development and commercialization deal with Bristol Myers Squibb for Abisma and its B-cell maturation antigen BCMA-directed CAR T-cell therapy approved by the FDA as a fifth-line multiple myeloma treatment earlier in 2021. The therapy brought in $67 million in sales in its first full quarter after launch in the US, and trials are underway to investigate its use in earlier line treatment. So those were the assets that were transferred on to the newly spun off company. At the same time, Bluebird sold its Durham biomanufacturing plant to a strategic alliance between National Resilience and 2seventy Bio for $110 million. Under the arrangement, Bluebird's 100+ technical and administrative staff would continue to work at Durham plant. So this takes away the recurring employment costs, and also, but as Resilience employees, they would be in the payroll of Resilience and out of Bluebird. And the 125,000 square foot facility, which manufactures lentiviral vector, a critical component for cell and gene therapies, will continue to be manufactured, and Resilience will continue to supply the vectors to both Bluebird Bio and 2seventy Bio. So this is a really smart arrangement by Bluebird. And back to financials, looking at the Q2 results, we can see that Bluebird faced a challenging second quarter marked by supply chain disruptions and inflationary pressures exacerbated by Russia's war in Ukraine and COVID lockdowns in China. The continued rise in raw material, freight, and labor costs, as well as shortages on a number of key components, drove increased costs to manufacture the units in that quarter, the majority of which were ordered nearly a year ago and were delayed due to supply chain constraints. Bluebird consciously chose to honor pricing on those units in the quarter to preserve long-standing franchise dealer and customer relationship, and therefore they suffered a loss in the second quarter, but it was done towards creating goodwill and solidifying their relationship with their dealer network. Bluebird continued to implement its multi-sourced supplier strategy for a number of critical components in order to reduce their risk, and was successful addressing supply chain issues that had previously impacted production. However, new supply chain issues emerged amid global geopolitical upheaval, and Bluebird again brought its pricing in line with expected cost increases in order to stem the losses. The company has implemented price increases totaling more than 25% over the past 10 months and expect the pricing to catch up with costs in the latter half of this fiscal year. Bluebird Bio ended the second quarter with $218 million in restricted cash and cash equivalents. So I don't know how much of this 218 million is restricted cash, but it's not too much of funding in its balance sheet, especially when we look at the challenges ahead. The only way we can think now is that we need to watch out for how Bluebird manages to commercialize Zynteglo and Skysona with the limited cash. Will they issue additional shares, or is there any alliance that is likely to buy into these approved therapies and help realize full market potential in which case the alliance would definitely demand a portion of the sales and the profit for these therapies. So we don't know how it's going to be, whether we are going to suffer equity dilution or whether we are going to have to give off part of the revenue and the profits if it goes into alliance mode. Either way, I expect that the share prices will zoom on Monday when the market opens. Looking at how Bluebird Bio has operated in the past, I wouldn't put it past them to spin off these two into a separate company and continue with something else. So everything is on the cards. Let us see what happens. So, well, friends, that's all from me for today. I hope you have a great weekend and you have a good time. If you like this video, please do not hesitate to press the like button, as it helps the channel, gives us more exposure. And if you're not yet subscribed, why not? It's absolutely free. Please subscribe and help us reach the 1,000 subscriber milestones. We have already cost 650. It's just a matter of another 350. So your subscription is much appreciated. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.